Bye.
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 Take it easy.
I will.
Kath, put that light out.
Nigel.
Come on. You know you can't help yourself.
Nigel, will you please move away from that window? You're only going to antagonise the woman.
Currently in mid-surveillance, Kath, so very difficult to move anywhere. Target locked on. And isn't she a sight for sore eyes? Gotcha! Caught on camera disturbing my pansies.
Listen to yourself. Now, I am so fed up with these silly games. I wish I'd never agreed to that fence in the first place.
She started this boundary dispute. Unfortunately for her, she severely underestimated the strength and depth of the enemy.
8:33. Filmed without consent, wearing dressing gown.
The man's a pervert as well as a hooligan.
You were on Nigel's lawn.
Sometimes, Patrick, I wonder whose side you're really on.
What do you mean you're not going into work?
I've taken a day's leave. Inconvenient, but unavoidable.
You're having a day off.
I can assure you, Kath, it's business, not pleasure. I'm seeing a solicitor. Appointment's booked for this morning.
A solicitor?
Time to bring in the heavy artillery. If Geraldine Doyle wants a fight, then I'll give her one.
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
She'll crumble under skillful interrogation.
I'm going to wake up in a minute and find out this has all been a bad dream.
That fence is encroaching onto our land. Added to that, there are charges of trespass and antisocial behaviour to answer to. She'll rue the day she took us on.
I am having no part of this. And I'll say so in court. That is, if we're not laughed out of it first. It's all right, I can manage, thank you.
I've still got time to make you breakfast. You look tired.
Is it any wonder?
Nigel Baines agreed to a new fence being built, and all I'm doing is claiming back a small piece of garden that's rightfully ours. In fair play and decency may be old-fashioned words these days, but I'm not afraid to use them. I wasn't elected chair of the Leatherbridge Inner Wheel for nothing. I'm going to need that table to plan a new strategy.
I need the table, Geraldine. I'm working from home today. I've got all this paperwork to get through.
The card's still there. And once Gunner Baines has left for work, you can make yourself useful and finish that fence.
Today?
Well, it isn't going to build itself, Patrick.
Do we really need to hand out these literacy leaflets to every patient that turns up for an appointment?
Yeah, well, people with literacy problems have a right to know that there's help available.
Can't we just make do with the posters? I mean, you can hardly miss them.
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised how many patients have trouble filling in simple medical forms, and some of them can't read the labels on medicine bottles, which is a tragedy waiting to happen.
Well, then if they can't read the labels on the medicine bottles, how are they going to read the leaflets?
I think you're doing a great job.
This is a doctor's surgery, not a remedial centre.
And some doctors are too smart for their own good.
Morning.
Look out, it's Miss Marple.
I heard that, Sarah Finch.
Look, while you're here, can I just call a quick meeting after morning surgery? I want to discuss Julia's plans for the,
Oh, I can't make it. I'm helping out with the Learning for Living class this afternoon.
Are you?
Did it with Julia.
Sorry, Mac. I'm on police business all day.
Important case to crack.
I'll see you later.
Sorry, Matt, I'm getting my hair cut.
I'll be there.
I'm just off on my rounds, and I wondered if there was anything that I needed to know about Catherine Baines.
I thought you were grounded.
Well, I feel fine. My blood pressure's down, and I have 4 doctors looking after me.
And what if Ronnie finds out?
Well, he won't, will he? And besides, I can't sit on my backside for the next 3 months.
Kath Baines, secondary progressive MS. Her symptoms have been getting worse recently, so I thought she should see a doctor. The last time I saw her, she was getting really bad headaches. Mind you, living next to the Doyles can't help.
Doyles? Oh, Patrick Doyle. He's been in here a couple of times. Seemed nice enough. Haven't met her, though.
Lucky you.
Oh, that bad.
Kath's husband and Geraldine Doyle are sworn enemies. Be prepared, there's a civil war waging in Leatherbridge.
Reported robbery's just come in. Sounds like it could be another mantis attack. You fancy tagging along?
Try and stop me.
This one's older and richer. She chatted him up at a singles bar. If it is the mantis, she's clearly going after easier prey.
What kind of state's he in?
Not sure. Usual symptoms. He can't remember much. Drink was probably spiked. He woke up on his sofa this morning to find he'd been robbed.
What have you got in there?
Evidence, Kath. Evidence. Accrued over weeks of meticulous observation. I'll be bringing that solicitor back for a site visit. Any advance on the fence building front, you have to call me straight away.
Well, make sure you take your checkbook. They normally want paying up front.
Something tells me you're not taking this seriously, Kath.
Oh, I am, Nigel, I am.
Oh, sorry about the noise. Fence might be a bone of contention, but Geraldine's pushing me to get on with it.
It's all right, Patrick. I know you hate this ridiculous fight as much as I do. Why can't we just talk about this like adults?
Oh, when she gets a bee in her bonnet, Geraldine's very difficult to reason with.
I know just what you mean. Surprised Nigel hasn't started digging trenches.
Oh.
You all right? You don't look well.
Too old to be putting up fences. I should be doing the company accounts. Well, maybe I'll take a break.
Catherine?
Oh.
Well, you've got a nerve.
Geraldine.
Here is a note posted through my letterbox by your husband informing me that you're seeking legal advice due to a catalogue of neighbourhood misdemeanours.
Oh, Nigel.
Oh, Nigel, indeed. He obviously didn't have the guts to tell me to my face.
Well, if this is how you react, it's hardly surprising. You're both as bad as each other. This is a fence. For goodness sake, it's just a fence.
You're going to let her talk to me like that?
I told you it would come to this. I warned you.
Oh, Patrick, not one of your turns. Oh, not today. Right, come on, deep breaths. Breathe in and out. And again after me, and in and out. Right, let's get you to bed.
Hey?
Yes. An hour's kip, and you'll be right as rain. We need to be in peak condition for our confrontation with the solicitor.
Oh.
Oh, come on, lean on me. That's it. Shh. You will insist on getting yourself worked up about these things. As if I hadn't got enough to worry about.
Mr. Graham, I'm Detective Inspector Baxter. This is Dr. Robinson. How are you feeling?
Terrible.
If you're up to it, I'd like to ask you some questions about last night.
I've already told your policewoman everything.
It won't take long, and afterwards perhaps the doctor could examine you.
I suppose so, if you think it's important. I actually can't remember much. Oh, my head.
Just try and relax.
How can I relax? I've been robbed.
It's more than likely that you've been given a strong sedative, so you will feel a bit rough for a day or so.
She spiked my drink, that's what she did.
Who spiked your drink?
I met a woman at Harvey's, that bar on the piazza.
It's a singles bar, isn't it?
Call it what you will. Anyway, she was chatty and interested, so I bought her a drink. Champagne.
Can you describe the woman?
Well, that's the thing. As I said, I can't remember much. Blonde. Was she a redhead? Dirty laugh, I remember that much. One thing led to another. I offered to buy her dinner. She had other things on her mind, if you know what I mean. So I cut the evening short, brought her back here.
And you carried on drinking?
A couple of brandies. 12-year-old cognac. Next thing I know is I wake up on the sofa, the woman's vanished, and so have most of my valuables.
Sir?
You've notified the bank about your stolen wallet?
Done all that. It's the other thing she took that really upset me.
Ivory mahjong set.
Ivory mahjong set. Japanese 18th century silver teapot. Tibetan broadsword with mother-of-pearl inlay. The list goes on. I'm a collector, you see. Oriental antiques. She must have thought she'd walked into Aladdin's cave. There's a suitcase missing as well. Enterprising as well as devious.
You are insured, though, Mr. Graham.
I wouldn't like this to get out, Inspector. I'm in the middle of a tricky divorce. The children would be mortified. What kind of woman takes advantage of a man's generosity in that callous way?
Now, Mr. Baines.
That's right.
I'm Ronnie Woodson. I'm covering for Mr. Lynch, who isn't here just now. So how can I help?
Oh, I'll get straight to the point. I expect your time is valuable. I know mine is. I've decided to bring a civil action against the neighbours, citing nuisance and trespass. As you can see, I've accrued a sizable body of evidence in support of my case, which I've labelled in chronological order to facilitate easier cataloguing.
OK, before we go any further, perhaps you'd like to explain to me the background to this dispute.
Oh, well, I'll start at the very beginning, and I'll do my best to provide you with every detail. You might wish to make notes.
That's fine, thank you.
OK, thanks. Forensics are on their way. How's our antiques dealer?
Well, pins and needles in his hands, blurred vision. I think we have to take his age into account. It's going to be a while before he recovers fully. What did he ever think she would see in him?
Well, I've checked out our Mr. Graham. He's got previous. Handling stolen goods. My guess is that the origins of some of these antiques is less than legit, which means it's going to be difficult for us to get him to give evidence in court.
If we ever catch her. Well, come on, it's not as if we've exactly got a lot to go on, is it?
Doctor! I need my GTN spray.
What's that?
Angina. Where did you keep the spray?
The bedside. Missy stole that too.
Can you get me a blanket as well?
Yeah.
I don't feel at all well.
It's all right. You're going to be just fine.
And the way I see it, that's the core of our case. The Doyle started building the fence while I was away on business, in my capacity as assistant deputy manager to a small but respected firm of electrical wholesalers. They will provide character references. Now, the defendant will argue that she's merely reclaiming a strip of the garden that was originally hers, but I can provide you with the original property deeds. The woman's just plain greedy. Give her an inch and she'll take a mile. Well, half a foot anyway. My hydrangeas are now in complete shadow.
Mr. Baines, it's always preferable to resolve a case like this before it goes to court. Now, if you can't agree a compromise, there are mediators available, and I'd be happy to put you in touch with one.
My wife's an invalid. Did I mention that?
Yes, you did.
Well, this thing has upset her so much she can't even bring herself to talk about it. Burying her head in the sand while building work continues unabated.
Why don't you go away and think about your next move? You don't want to rush into anything.
I never rush into anything. No, as I explained to my wife this morning, my decision's been made. I didn't liberate the Falklands only to come home and surrender to some neighbourhood tyrant. The woman has to be stopped. Today's fence is tomorrow's loft extension. No, the time for talking is over. Let's get you to the battleground. These things are best seen from the thick of the action.
Now.
And too much time wasted already. Thanks very much.
think an official-looking letter's going to soften our resolve? I know all your tricks. I've served on juries and my brother was a magistrate.
Oh, you must be Mrs. Doyle.
Yeah, I'm well aware of who you are. But where's Nigel? Hiding, no doubt, the worm. If you're after the other plaintiff, she's in the garden. I'll fight you all the way. The Doyles are no quitters.
Dr. Woodson, I'd completely forgotten you were coming. I'm so sorry. It's been a bit of a morning.
So I gather. Is she always like that?
Geraldine, what's she been saying now?
Well, nothing that made any sense. You look busy.
Yeah, got lots of window boxes to plant up tomorrow. I've just got a bit behind. Too many distractions.
Distractions of the neighbourhood variety?
We've fallen out. Over that fence.
I like it.
Yeah, so do I. It's just in the wrong place. Oh, this is just the latest in a long line of disagreements. When we first moved in here, it was overhanging trees. Then it was something about vehicle access, planning permission for their conservatory, then planning permission for our extension, and now it's this. Oh, Nigel is adamant he's going to take the dispute all the way to court, and he won't even consider an alternative.
And all this is affecting your health?
Well, it's not exactly helping it. I've been getting a lot of blurred vision this week. I've still got those headaches all the time.
Is the pain anywhere specific?
Yeah, it's right here, right behind my eyes.
Patrick?
No, I'm not the only one suffering from this ridiculous feud. Geraldine's husband's not at all well. He's easily stressed at the best of times. I know he hates confrontations.
I've met Patrick before. If I'm feeling brave enough, I might pop over there later. But I think we should get you sorted out first.
I don't believe it. They're only playing the disability card. How brazen can you get? They're plotting against us in broad daylight. And I'm not sure I like that solicitor's tone. I have a good mind to intervene. Shouldn't you be getting up?
That's not a solicitor, Geraldine. That's Dr. Woodson.
Can we go inside and I'll give you a proper checkup?
Yeah.
No fingerprints on one of the glasses. She must have wiped it clean.
His pulse is too slow. We need to call an ambulance.
Okay.
Jonathan, can you hear me?
Is he going to be okay?
He's having trouble coping with the effect of the drug.
We can't be sure it is the drug yet.
Can't breathe properly. She's poisoning me.
It's all right, Jonathan. There's an ambulance on the way.
Well, if you're feeling dizzy, then you're definitely overdoing it. How far can you walk at the moment without the aid of a stick?
Oh, a few yards. But with the stick, I'm fine.
And how are you coping with work?
Well, I can design garden layouts from home, so I'm really fortunate in that respect. Or at least I was, till this whole fence saga kicked off.
You know, stress and MS is a vicious circle. The illness increases stress, and stress in turn increases the symptoms of the illness.
I know.
So the sooner you resolve this dispute, the better.
If only it were that easy.
We could consider a second opinion. A specialist might be able to suggest something to help reduce the chances of further progression.
I really don't want to take any long-term medication, not unless I really have to. Much rather fight it naturally.
Okay. Well, let me know if you change your mind. Are you still attending physio, though?
3 times a week. And my diet's fine. My husband insists on preparing all my meals. He's become a bit of a health food freak. Scours Lethbridge looking for organic tofu and linoleic acid supplements. I couldn't survive without Nigel. That sounds like him now.
Right. You see what we're dealing with here? Guerrilla tactics.
You're going to do yourself an injury. I really think you ought to calm down.
Calm down. Calm down.
What on earth is going on?
Blatant aggravation, that's what's going on. You push a man too far.
Get your filthy hands off that post!
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
Oh, no, I shall call the police.
I thought we decided no home visits.
No, you decided no
Call
home
the
visits.
police. I'll have you locked up for breach of the peace.
Nigel, please.
Told you to ring
And you
me.
thought you'd carry on regardless?
I'm warning you.
Ah, shut up, you cow.
Nigel!
You meant to be taking things easy.
You idiot! You want me up in court? I'll give you something to tell the judge.
You're swamping my pansies, you lunatic woman.
Stop it, both of
I
you.
couldn't give a stuff about your pansies.
Do you not think you ought to do something?
Like what?
Right, citizens arrest.
Oh, no! Oh, I have you for assault.
Give it up. I'm fitter and stronger than you are.
The day I give up is the day you move. Oh, Patrick! Oh, look what you've done!
He's not breathing.
Can you see if the ambulance is on its way?
Help me get him to the floor, will you? Okay. I'm going to start CPR.
Come on. Come on!
Right, well, no heart attack, just a panic attack. You're going to need some stress-free time to recuperate, so I suggest you stay right where you are.
It's never been as bad as this. Geraldine, I love you dearly, but your ridiculous feud with Nigel will be the death of me.
We'll arrange a course of proper treatment for you. There are ways of dealing with anxiety, but you need to take your condition seriously, and that's both of you. It's easier to deal with these attacks if you have the support of your partner.
I'm sorry about the mix-up earlier, Doctor, but until that gormless bloke turned up, I thought you were the solicitor. This dispute has made me rather paranoid.
Well, I wonder whether an argument over a fence is really worth all this aggravation.
You okay?
Yeah, I'll live. Could lend me an arm, could you?
Of course.
It's all right. I'll be all right from here. Thanks.
There you are.
No, you just stay away from me, Nigel.
Kath. I've been a fool. If my behaviour has led to a worsening of Kath's MS, I'll never forgive myself. And if that doctor hadn't been visiting, Patrick could have been in serious trouble. I like a woman who's good in a crisis.
Maybe if you dropped the litigation.
You trying to talk yourself out of a job?
I think your wife would be happier. The solicitors don't come cheap.
Maybe.
Well, I hope you're satisfied.
What do you mean? You started it.
Oh, typical response in today's blame culture. Who went running to the solicitor?
I'd better be going.
Your unreasonable behaviour left me no other option.
I was considering going to mediation.
And perhaps I was too, but clearly there's no talking to you.
Fine.
Fine!
I'm sorry, Ronnie. I'll go stir crazy if I'm stuck in that surgery all day.
What on earth? Oh.
Would you believe it?
No, I've been unreasonable. I just wanted my wife and baby to be okay.
Well, we're fine. Trust me.
You're
I'm
a
a doctor.
doctor.
Anyway, listen, I'm starving. How do you fancy lunch at that new Icon bar?
Kath? Kath! Forensics have found traces of CP5. And we've got 2 witnesses who remember seeing a woman with Jonathan at the bar last night.
Stress of the robbery must have triggered a heart attack. I just can't believe he died. Maybe I should have called the ambulance sooner.
No, you couldn't have done anything more. We don't know who the mantis is, but now we're conducting a murder inquiry.
We have a special hour-long Doctors tomorrow where Jimmy is the victim of a gold digger. Hearsay's Kim Marsh guest stars here on BBC1 at the usual time, 2:05.